And hello there, Dental Nachos. Terry Brock here, and it's time for another Talking Tech Tips with Terry, Tuesday at 2. And today I am so excited about this particular program because we're going to be talking about something that literally is changing the world. And it has wonderful applications for you in your practice, in what you're doing, the business that you do, and how you live and eat and interact with others. It's called cryptocurrency, and it's about Bitcoin and blockchain. They are changing the way that we work. And plus, today is going to be really nice because I'm using a little bit different technical setup. And because we're talking technology here, I get a chance to kind of go a little bit behind the scenes sometimes and go, hey, let me show you how I'm doing this and what's going on here and what you can see, the kind of things that are available. And I definitely want to hear from you. We're using Restream right now. Restream is a fabulous tool to take the signal that we've got here and then put it out into many different places. And what I mean by that is it can go to Facebook, it can go to LinkedIn, it can go to Twitter, it can go to YouTube, all at the same time or even simultaneously. That's right. Yeah, I like to say it that way. So, work with me, okay? But the idea is we can send it out many different places. And what I'm doing is I'm also using another little tool, another aspect of using eCam so that I can take and share some screens with you. And I'm looking forward to that because I want to go through some slides to let you see practical real world application in Bitcoin and applications of blockchain and how all that comes together. It's going to work. So please leave your comments. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. We'll be monitoring those. And if you want to just say hello, or let me know you're out there watching this. Would love to hear from you. If you have a question, by all means, let me know on that. We'll be taking questions. When I get into the slideshow, I won't see it as much because I'll be focusing on, well, the slides and looking at them. But we'll be looking for your comments that come through when they are there and the ways that I can help you. Bitcoin is really interesting, the way it's been changing and what it's doing, particularly for many different areas. And I like the way that it makes the world available. It helps us to figure out how we can be with other people and how we can just be nice, JBN. And that's a thing that Dr. Paul Goodman talks about. We affectionately call him Dr. Nachos, and he gives us the idea of, hey, we're going to take a look at what's going on in the world. We want to see what's out there, see what's happening, and all that. I'm looking over here on my phone to make sure we got things coming through well and seeing what's happening there on the Dental Nachos place and to see all the good things that are going on for you over here. And I love the way that Paul talks about always keep guessing and keep learning, not just guessing, but testing. So don't guess, but test. And that's really a good thing to do because in where we are today with crypto, we definitely need to get out there and test more. So let's go ahead and take a peek at that and see where we are today in the world of crypto. We're looking at the people using it now in a profound way, using it for many different tools, for many different ways of getting around, but it's all about technology, and it really is a handy little tool to have to get these out there. Now, it has some enormous opportunities for you. These opportunities are going to give you the ability to do a whole lot more than you would be able to do otherwise, and it gives you the ability to get more done as well. Matter of fact, it's just pretty exciting about the whole thing. You like my little slide here? Yeah, it's like it's shaking up the world, changing it profoundly in just the ways that we're seeing what are happening, and it's making some big differences there on that. But when we look at Bitcoin, really what it is, it's really about human rights. It's about the ability that you have as a human being to live your life for solving poverty and being able to do this for millions and literally billions of people around the world and freeing people from oppression. It's doing that in a big way. And I like the way that it's freeing them from oppression because what it does, it gives you the ability to do the kinds of things that you want to do with your money, and you don't have to get permission. It's like with credit cards, you have to get permission from someone to use that, and they can turn your credit card down at any time. If you're working with crypto, well, then that's not going to happen because what will happen is you'll be able to do what you need to do whenever you need to do it. And you say, okay, I want to do that, and I want to slowly slink away here. There we go. We can do that, and we'll move it over here. We can do it too. But instead of having an environment where people are telling you you can or cannot do this, it's really a permissionless place of work, a way that you can operate and get what you need done free of that oppression and be able to do it the way that you want, when you want. It also is really good for creating previously unavailable opportunities. These opportunities are going to give you the ability to do a lot that you would normally not be able to do, but now with cryptocurrency, you're going to be able to get these things done, be able to make that happen, be able to get in there and say, okay, hey, I want to do a little bit more, and be able to do it. Now, back in June, I made a presentation to a group here in Florida, Bitcoin and Blockchain Summit. It was a big event, first-time event of being able to talk about what's going on. And now you get a chance to do that again in just a little while. As a matter of fact, I got to tell you, I am excited about it because today, in our world today, we're seeing some amazing things happen with crypto as it's going along. For example, El Salvador. You might have heard of that El Salvador now has made a major change that is profound. The first country in the world, and what they have done is they have now made Bitcoin official legal tender. It is official legal tender in El Salvador. I'll move way over on the side on that. And now you can use that, or you could also use the US dollar. The US dollar has been their main currency and their main legal tender for a while. Now they have shifted and have been able to add to that Bitcoin. So this is huge for them in El Salvador, where about 25 to 30% of their economy is remittance. This is people that are from El Salvador, have gone elsewhere, the United States or other countries, and they send money back to their family, to their friends back home, and have huge fees on that. Going through some of the services that are available on that, it has a big fee. Plus, there's the gangs down there, which is a big factor. And the gangs go to the places, go to those places where they're getting the cash, and they know that people are getting the cash, so they want a little bit of the take themselves. Sad, but this is the way that it works. This is what's happened for a long time. And now people can get the money directly sent to them through Bitcoin. And this is going to change and is changing the way that it operates. We're able to see that these people are now getting much more. But you see, what we're going to have to do in this world now more than ever, we have to continue to learn. Continue to go to sessions, go to classes, much like we do regularly. And now we're getting back to more in-person classes that give us the ability to get out there and to do more. But here's some of the things that have been happening recently when we look at what's going on in the crypto space. Some major events. Bitcoin just a few days ago was given an ETF. That's the electronic funds transfer. And it gives the ability for people to bet on the futures of where it's going to be. And that gives more confidence in the financial market of what is going on, what's happening there. We're seeing massive growing acceptance, both with Bakkt, which is a wallet. It's a service that can give you the ability to earn money and to use your credit card. And this is where MasterCard has come in, working with Bakkt in order to let people use their MasterCard and to buy, to sell, and to hold cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically. This is massive, and it is huge going on right now. And there's also the NFTs, which stands for the non-fungible tokens. This has a lot of potential for many people, whereas you can get paid for, say, dental services that you might render, or you might be able to pay for your dental services and get certain things done with NFTs. It also has to do with art. It has to do with many things where you can own a fraction of something and be able to learn that way. Money-making opportunities then are available for you with this in some major ways that we're going to see, because we're seeing that there's a whole lot opening up that previously was closed, not able to do a lot before, and we're seeing that now we're able to reach in and do much more. Now that Bitcoin ETF is there, this is why analysts say that Bitcoin ETFs may completely change the structure of the market. They say analysts still hold a bullish long-term view of Bitcoin price, but they also agree that the newly launched BTC ETFs, BTC is Bitcoin, by the way, the ETFs, those electronic transfer funds, are a game changer. This is major because people were waiting for this for a long time. Matter of fact, we were waiting for these to come in for 7 years. 7 years of this, we wanted to see it come about, and it wasn't there yet. We were not able to get it, not able to see what was there and how it works. But now we see this is available, and it's giving us the ability to do a huge amount. Finally, happened just recently, just last week, we saw this coming about. And it's still better to hold your Bitcoin. One of the things that we recommend now is that when you're using something like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, it's better to not worry about treating it like a stock. Too many people treat it that way. They look at it as, okay, it's a stock, the stock price is going up, or it's not going up, or it's not as good as it was, and that becomes dangerous. What happens when you do that is you're looking at a way that things are changing, and we can't really control that. Short term, it's going to be there going up and down. And we know that when it's going up and down, it can make you go crazy figuring out, okay, what do we do with Bitcoin? Do we use this? Do we keep it? Do we save it? I want it to go up, or then it goes down. What you want to do, and what a lot of wise people are saying, and I'm not making any financial advice here at all, zero financial advice. I'm not qualified for that, but I am recommending that you invest in your education, learning about cryptocurrency, learning about Bitcoin, what it is and how you can use that. And by holding on to those coins, I find that then if you think that it will go up, you'll be better off longer term. Now, we don't know where it's going to go, up or down, or stay the same. I doubt if it'll stay the same, but it has been going up, and it's considerably higher. Today, Bitcoin is around $63,000, and that's significantly up from where it was before, because when you think about it, just a few years ago, it was down around $3,000. Now it's up there much higher. Now, does that mean that we should then try to sell it like a stock? No, not at all. I'm not giving any financial advice. But I think that what we want to do is we want to remember to learn and to continue to grow with this and keep getting more wise as to what we're going to do with it. Because as we do that, we'll see even more capability with it in the future. And it's even better to earn interest on it when you can. The folks over at Celsius Network have the ability for you to take Bitcoin, put it in several other coins as well, put it into a holding tank that they have, and then they use it for business and investing, and they will pay you interest on that. This is something you should check with your financial advisors about just to see if that might be right for you. But it's where we are today, and it's got some amazing capabilities. But now is definitely the time. Now is the time that you want to look at what's available with Bitcoin and look at all that's available there right now. Matter of fact, I had a chance to talk with one of the pioneers and leaders in the whole crypto space, Charlie Shrem, just the other day. And he had some very important things to say about where we are and what's going on. We're seeing a lot of change in the world today. And right now is a time unlike any other. Yeah, we hear that a lot, but it really is. And Charlie, tell us why we're seeing now, this year, 2021, as really more profound than ever before.
Over the last 2 years and going into the next 10 years, the world has finally agreed that everything in the future is going to be a digital asset. Everything is going to be securitized. Everything will be tokenized. Everything from how you operate your coffee machine in the morning to how you pay your mortgage, you're going to be interacting with the blockchain. And the world in the past 2 years has finally agreed to that and understood that and building and investing for the future. This is the time.
Now is the time. I'd have to agree that I think right now we're seeing tremendous amount of possibilities and tremendous time to start learning on this. If you haven't done it before, I'd recommend go out on the web and start looking around, see what's available, see what is out there. At bitcoin.com is one place to go. Cointelegraph is another place where a lot of good news is there. We also see that there's a lot available at CoinDesk, places like that that give the ability to do a lot there and start learning about it. And when we really get down to it, we're looking at the progression of money and what money is, how it has changed through the years. This is something that I started looking into and heard from some others. I want to share it with you, something that could help. You see, long ago, many moons ago, we were using only commodity trades and barter. We would use barter. It's like, hey, I've got a bushel of corn here and you've got some extra tomatoes. How many pieces of corn do you want? How many corn on the cob do you want for those tomatoes? And now that worked well where you could do some changes like that. The problem came, though, that sometimes you might have tomatoes and I really don't need any more tomatoes. I've got enough already. I've got something, but what I really want is I might want some carrots. But I've got corn and you've got tomatoes and I want to get carrots. So what they did long ago is they started using objects to hold money and consider that as money. So if you had a very nice object, a stone that might be carved a certain way, we'd look at that and go, I like the way you're carving that thing. That looks pretty good. So they'll say, well, then I'll tell you what, I'll give you X number of tomatoes and you'll give me so many carrots because of this, and we'll exchange this as well and work something out. Well, that was one way to do it. It's a little bit, just a little bit above barter. And then people started saying, wait a minute, we need something a little more reliable than that. And that's where precious metals came in, gold and silver particularly. People said, okay, we're going to use these and we're going to trust that this will be good, because I know that now, because I don't really need any more carrots or tomatoes or whatever, but if I get gold, I can exchange that for anything. At that time, they'd make that into smaller coins, so gold coins and silver coins that they would use. And that was okay for a while, but then what happened is it was kind of hard to carry all that around. So we progressed to paper. And the paper would represent real dollars of real money in the bank. And there would be a money there, like for instance, a $500 bill. You'll see we used to use that, and there's William McKinley on there. And with that 500, you could take that and go out and buy $500 worth of merchandise, which back then was a lot. We're not making any of those anymore, but it was a lot. But I knew at any point I could take that paper and I could go to the bank, and because it says, notice at the top, it says Federal Reserve Note. That Federal Reserve note meant it would be redeemed in gold if I chose to. And so we could do that when we were on the gold standard. And then we've moved from there over to credit cards. Obviously, we're still using those today, doing a lot with them, and we see a lot being done with that. And now we're moving to digital money. We're seeing that today, doing a lot where we exchange things back and forth, and we're able to use it. Look at PayPal and the way we can go there. We use that using credit cards and using our digital money. The credit cards are kind of like that, which has become there. But now we're moving into cryptocurrencies. And cryptocurrencies are based on mathematics, based on something that is reliable and something that is going to help us to do a huge amount of trading and investing, being able to do a lot more with what we have and than what we have been able to do before. But what you've got to do is when you're using this and working with those kinds of tools, you want to make sure that you treat it right. And in treating it right, what you want to do is be able to store it in certain places. There's places where you can do that right now, where you can take your Bitcoin or you can take crypto, put it somewhere, and they will pay you in US dollars. You will be able to earn interest on that. Or you could take your crypto, put it somewhere, and be able to take a loan on that. So if you had this much money, you could borrow this much money. You have this much money in a Bitcoin. You could put that into one of these places and they would be able to send money to you. It works really nicely on that. Some good things happening there. One of the companies that do that is called Celsius Networks. Celsius Network does a lot with that. And I had a chance to talk with their chief technology officer. His name is Nuke Goldstein, and he explained the way their system worked. And I thought it was pretty amazing. I wanted to share that with you here today. How does that work?
Yeah, it sounds like magic, right? You have let's say a Bitcoin. Let's say a Bitcoin is $60,000, and you want to borrow $30,000 from us. What we do is we lock your Bitcoin. You do not earn your weekly rewards on that Bitcoin. It becomes a collateral, and you get $30,000 in cash or stable coins from us. This process can take, few hours, maybe less. And you get the money in your bank or the stable coins in your account. And from the user's perspective, you have your Bitcoin. It's not just not earning the rewards that you didn't have before, and you have the cash. And no fees.
That with no fees, and you're able to use that. I think there's some tremendous opportunities with that and some ways that you can use it, something you want to look into and see what's available. There's many services that do this, and a lot can be done when you have that. But there's a real important consideration, and that consideration is when you're using Bitcoin or you're using these, you have to be responsible to hang on to it, because if you lose the keys that are given, you're in trouble. What you've got to do is you've got to take an oath, more or less, I'd say to yourself. Promise that you will keep the keys that are there, because in keeping those keys, you'll be able to keep your coins. It's a little bit different than the bank. You can't call up somebody and say, hey, help me on this. I lost my password. Please give me a new one or something. No, you're responsible for that. And I got a chance to find out about that and some of the ramifications of it, of how you can do something rather unique. When I was talking to a lady who is very, very knowledgeable in this and has helped many thousands of people learn. She is a person who is here in Florida, Erica Gemma, and she shared some information that is really, really important.
Listen.
Absolutely. And you talk about that a lot. One of the things I have to smile when I say is you often talk about BYOB. Now, where I grew up out in the country, that meant one thing. That meant you're going to bring your own bear, but you have a whole different take on that. And it relates to what you were just talking about. What is BYOB?
It's be your own bank. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's the thing, Bitcoin really allows you to be your own Swiss bank account, and cryptocurrencies are making that more and more accessible in general. So, this has never been something that's been possible before, but technology has allowed us to get to this point. And I just hope that the people come on board, the right people come on board, to make sure that they're a part of this revolution.
Yeah, and so what she's saying is actually is right on target. And you're getting two of me here with this, by the way. So it's really important. You want to make sure that you keep those keys, but realize you can be your own bank and you take care of it. But this gives you the responsibility. It also gives you enormous possibilities with it. So I would say look into what's available with that and see what's available, because there's a lot of capability for this and a lot of things that are available. And it's a great opportunity also to get paid for video and for podcasting, if you're doing that, or getting paid for services that you would render. For instance, as a dentist, you could do that, and it could work out very well. I was talking to Dave Jackson, and he's with the School of Podcasting, and talks about ways that you can actually get paid to earn money from your listeners when they say, hey, I really like this podcast. I really like this. And they can give you some Satoshis, those small incremental parts of the Bitcoin. Tell us what this is and how people can start tapping into that.
Yeah, it's using Telegram, the app. It's using the Lightning Network, and then a bunch of new podcast apps that you can find at newpodcastapps.com. And the beautiful thing of this is the longer your audience listens, the more money you make. And as you mentioned, there's in these apps now, there's what's called a boost button. So if you kind of think of it, you tip your waiter, things of this nature. So if somebody likes what you're doing, they're like, wow, that was brilliant. They click a button and they can send you as much money as they want.
And that opens up a world of possibilities. Think about this, getting paid in cryptocurrency, getting tips, things like that, whether you're in a dental service or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can do it. And I would recommend take a look at the possibilities that are there of what is available for you, how you can start using this. And if you got some questions, by all means, drop me a note and let me know. Here, Dental Nachos would be a good place, because we're out here to serve you and help you in the dental community and help you in many different ways. So I'm going to let you go about what you need to do. Get out there and take a look at the options that are available. But I wanted to share with you some of these exciting things that are going on with the area of cryptocurrency, what's happening and how we're using it there. And we're going to be able to talk about this and much more. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think. You can leave a comment below here, wherever you're catching this, how you're using, or if you are using crypto. And if you're not, well, what's holding you back? What kind of things are you concerned about? What questions do you have? We want to help you on that. I'm Terry Brock, and I wish you a very, very good